What's going on, guys? This is Michael MGF, and today I'm going to be doing another LEGO Star Wars The Last Jedi set review on BB-8. And the server for this one is 75187. The recommended ages are 10 through 16, and it has a piece count of 1,106, while the price point is $100. And no one really knows if this set is considered UCS or not. I'm sure LEGO came out with that somewhere. I haven't seen it. Personally, I would think that this is more so like discount UCS because you get the card, but the price point is not insane, and so it's kind of UCS, not really. I mean, it kind of seems UCS, Ultimate Collector Series, by the way, for those of you who don't know, because it's obviously not tailored to kids, because it's a really great build with like 2 features, and so yeah, it's a UCS set, man, and it's a really cool one, by the way. This set is so awesome. It's just that price tag that is a little bit of a pill to swallow, and we will talk about all of that and this set's 2 features right now. Of course, we do get a BB-8 minifigure with this set, so before we get started, you can see here he is, and you know, here's a quick 360 if you weren't around for when The Force Awakens came out. For whatever reason, still the same minifigure, still splits in 2, still just as awesome, even though I may, well, that just went completely off the studio. Well, I guess you're decapitated now, BB-8. Have fun. So, onto the set itself, and you can see that this is going to be pretty straightforward if you couldn't already tell. There really isn't a whole lot to talk about here because, of course, there are only a couple features because this is one giant display piece, and there's nothing wrong with that. This little set is amazing, even though the price tag is not little. Anyway, so just to get it out of the way, we're going to quickly remove BB-8 from the stand, talk about this really quick, and you can see that the stand is pretty straightforward. There isn't a whole lot to talk about. He's held up by several slopes. I can only hope that those slopes will be able to hold him up in the long term. But then over here you can see that, of course, we do have the info board for BB-8, and I'm not going to read any of that. Feel free to pause that if you would like. But then you can see on the front we do have the BB-8 minifigure on a 2x2 tile with the stud in the center, so he's got a little slot available for the minifigure comparison that LEGO tends to like to do for UCS sets. But again, not necessarily UCS, so anyway, moving the stand out of the way so we can talk about BB-8 himself. This is such a cool little build, man. This is so awesome. You have a lot of Technic on the inside of this thing, by the way. Just one giant Technic mechanism for the 2 main features of the build, but this is so cool and just about as accurate as a brick-built BB-8 could be. I mean, this is just such a freaking cool set, man. Here's a quick look at the bottom so that we don't forget that. But obviously built with tons and tons of plates and Technic to keep it in this spherical shape while also keeping those features inside. And just to stop talking about them so I can actually show you those features, this little dish on the side here, like this panel on this side here, if you go ahead and just turn it back a little bit, or is it forwards? I think it's forwards. Yeah, if you turn it forwards, you can see you got the little torch that comes out for when he was giving Finn a thumbs up in The Force Awakens, so of course LEGO had to include that. So you just turn that forwards, and then that little torch comes out, and there's like one, like I said, a complicated Technic mechanism inside there that makes that happen, and it's very cool. And by the way, you actually do get an extra one of those pieces for the torch, which is not bad, man. So that's cool. And yeah, so you just fold that back in and out, and it's a very cool little mechanism LEGO has going here. And then you just fold the panel right back over it when you're done. And then over here on this side, you can see this panel rotates a full 360, and this actually has the job, and as you probably could already tell, of turning BB-8's head. And it is so awesome and so realistic to how BB-8 actually moves and turns his head in the movies, and this is just so well done. I completely butchered the build, by the way. I had to tear this thing apart, and when I realized I had the center Technic mechanism misaligned by a stud, so that sucked. But I got them all together now, and everything is great. But this is just a really great feature, and like I said, there's a lot of Technic inside that makes these 2 features possible. And yeah, so not only do you have a fantastic display piece, but you also have him, you know, with having the ability to turn his head and in the realistic fashion as to how he does in the movie, and then he also does have his iconic little torch thumbs up, and so that is just so awesome how much LEGO managed to do. And yeah, so just folding all that stuff back in and getting BB-8 facing forwards again, you can see, just to talk about the head really quick, the head is definitely pretty awesome and nails the shape. Of course, LEGO completely nailed, the designers nailed everything about this set, the build. I mean, like I said, this is pretty straightforward, and there isn't a whole lot to talk about here. You have like his eye in the center, of course, using a couple of dishes. You have the the little holographic projector on his left cheek, and then you have the antennas on the back of his head. And other than that, man, that is really it for LEGO BB-8. There isn't a whole lot else to cover here. It is just a fantastic build with a ton of Technic in the middle and just a lot of plates and tiles. So yeah, this is an awesome set and just a perfect display piece for people like me, and I could not recommend it more. But like all Last Jedi sets, there is the price hike that you're going to have to get by if you want to get this set. Because can I look at this and then to the average person recommend this for $100? I would definitely put this at more like 80, but like I said, with all the Last Jedi sets, with all the sets that come out for the major movie releases, you got some price hikes here, and that, you know, LEGO's got to make that extra revenue. I mean, they just released today that they saw like a decrease in 5% of their revenue just, you know, the first half of this year. So again, if you want to pay the extra 10 or 20 bucks that I don't really think you're getting all that much for, then absolutely pick this up. This is a fantastic set, and I'm so glad I picked it up, because even if I wasn't reviewing it, I would have picked it up anyway. There is definitely, for me, no turning this down. And one last thing I want to touch on before ending this review and showing you the box and the instruction manual, of course, is it to scale with the UCS R2-D2? I don't know for sure. I haven't really seen anyone else's photos or videos, and mine is currently in storage, but I'm almost certain that this would have to be a little bit smaller, R2 from, you know, that 2011 set, be a little bit bigger for both of them to be within scale of one another. I don't know for sure. Just something I wanted to mention before wrapping up this segment. And so now, let's take a look at the box and the instruction manuals and not the extra pieces, because the only interesting one I already mentioned. So, yeah, man. LEGO BB-8, what a freaking cool build. The box is definitely a thing that is made of cardboard. You can see the graphic is BB-8 outside the front of the Millennium Falcon, or actually I guess that's more of like the right side, whatever. The Last Jedi logo up in the top right corner, the BB-8 minifigure sporting the actual size reference, along with a super cool graphic of the set over here on this side of the box, the right side, because I know my lefts and rights. And then over here, you can see on the back we got all of the features that I just went over from the set. So, yeah. Like I said, it's definitely a box. And the instruction manual is actually a pretty reasonable size, pretty concise, pretty straightforward. So getting right to the point, you can see we have a total page count of I have absolutely no idea, 161, and then we have the minifigure renders over here on the left side with all those Last Jedi graphics. So that is definitely pretty awesome. And then over here on the right, we have the entire lineup of sets for the Last Jedi, and I'm only reviewing 2 of which, and unfortunately the rest are not getting a review. It's like a 99.9% chance at this point that they are definitely not getting a review, but that's okay because we reviewed this set and the walkers previously, so we still got a couple of them. Sir, where's BB-8?
Let them fight.
Okay, and there you go. That is it for what was probably a longer review than it needed to be on LEGO's BB-8 set they put out for The Last Jedi. And hopefully this won't be my last Jedi set review, but I unfortunately am not seeing a whole lot of time for any additional reviews after that because I'm already working on the Defenders, getting my wisdom teeth removed at the end of the week. I have 4, by the way, 2 of which are sideways, so that's fun. There's a Hurricane coming like right after that, like as soon as I'll be like kind of done healing, so that's also fun. And then I just like I said, I'm not really seeing a window here for any additional reviews, so unfortunately, this is probably it. Thank you so much for enjoying these past 2 reviews, guys. I really appreciate it. And if you did enjoy this review, then be sure to let me know, man, by dropping this video a like below if you found this review informative or if it helped you in deciding as whether or not you want to pick up this set. Or maybe drop a comment down below if there's anything you like or dislike about the set that I may or may not have mentioned, any mistakes I made, anything you agree with, disagree with, all those things. You guys are the best. And yeah, so aside from that, you can also follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Links to all 3 of those are always down in the description below. I'm wrapping up Iron Fist tonight before I head out to go pick up Destiny 2 and get that downloading. That's the thing that's happening tonight, so that should be pretty awesome. But you will see all of that over there before you see it over here. And I actually have just been getting some updates on the Savitar collaborative minifigure that Sander and I are working on, and his sculpt is looking amazing, and I cannot wait for you guys to see that. And again, you'll see it all over there before you see it here. Way easier to make photos than it is to make videos, so I will catch you guys later. All right, bye-bye. Wow. The second I hit the record button, just an instant train. Okay. 7 recommended ages are 7 through 14. Nope, they're 10 through 16, Ross. Alright, we're on it. We can't even read today. What's going on, guys? It's Michael MGF, and today... God, freaking... Such a... Fucking ages are 10 through 4...